2 mystic moons. This is a reading for Cancerian Collective. Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Rising, Cancer Venus, as this is a love reading, Cancer 7th house, Cancer Jupiter. You can also consider Cancer 4th house. Right, there's certain places where, Cancerian energy is particularly strong. And those are the energies. If you feel strong Cancerian energy, well, you definitely wouldn't need me to tell you if you felt it or not. For this reading will be structured into 2 parts. The first part is going to be a general reading on love, whatever message needs to come out from Spirit. And the second part of the reading will be 12 zodiac sign breakdown, or as much as I have the energy and effort to do. I was almost going to do another sign, but I actually noticed that when I did Sagittarius' reading the other day, I noticed that the Cancerian reading, although I easily spent about an hour and 20 minutes on it, only 20 minutes got recorded. I don't know where those 20 minutes were, but since the whole thing sort of just was a momentary ploof into the sun, into the ether, and it's been a couple weeks since I did that, I can do one more. If you appreciate my time and energy, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, please feel free to share. I won't be timestamping this reading. So if you're watching this after the fact, it's too much hassle to timestamp on a phone. But if you're watching this after the fact and you want to jump ahead, the main part of the reading will take about 20 minutes, part 1. And then for the 12 zodiac sign breakdown, that will be probably about 3 to 5 minutes apiece. So judge accordingly and skip. I don't think I'll be skipping around with the zodiac signs. I'll be doing it by element, and that's pretty much all. Hello. So let's go and see, first of all, the general message on love. What is in the Cancerian collective for love? When I say love, too, I like to be clear on the sort of energy that I'm pulling on, not necessarily the red hot, passionate type of energy. Not that that couldn't be a part of that, but this is more the softer hue of love. If you want to visualize it in a color with me, think pink. Think the energy of empathy, compassion, understanding, really striving for growth, healthy growth. And with that sort of foundation, other things can spring, right? Like the red, hot, passionate energy. If you so choose, if you so desire, if you so call for it. Anyway, we'll get started. Let's go and see what is a general message on love for Cancer. Could have sworn that was a Four of Pentacles there. Was it? Oh, well. Let's go and see. Not Four of Pentacles, I meant Four of Cups. Let's go and see message on love for Cancer. Eight of Cups. Hello, hello. Thank you for the like. Eight of Cups. Queen of Wands. Restless energy here. Cancer, have you been feeling a little unsatisfied? Everything that meets your eye, Cancer, just doesn't hold any interest, nothing that you can really latch on to. And so the energy that I have here is restlessness. That's what I have also too with these eights. Eights are force is greater numerically. Force is greater than what we have at hand. Force is greater than what we're dealing with or what we gather. These are environmental, external forces, the forces that are in the very air. And the very air speaks of change. The very air is urging you to look elsewhere, to go outside of your comfort zone. Also to really breed discontent with the current state of now. It's a soft firecracker to get you moving, to inspire you to look and be eager for what is it that you have not yet seen? Who is it you have not yet met? Where do you have to go? Where can you go that you have not gone to thus far? Thank you for the like. So that's all the energies that we have here in our pull. Let's go and find out more about this Eight of Cups. And welcome. So, Eight of Cups. Queen of Cups. I read my queens as cardinals, by the way. I read my Queen of Cups as Cancer. Ten of Swords. King of Cups. Five of Swords. Bottom of a deck energy, World, Page of Swords. A change of routine. Cancer, have you already been making really big movements to how you have lived your life thus far? Has this year maybe not the changes that you would have preferred or strived for, but nonetheless, if you consider this year to last year and the year before that, have you been making some pretty big changes in your overall routine, your overall life, and the people that have been in it? You're not settling for certain types of relationships or to continue certain types of relationships just because you hold history with them. There's a call for innovation in this energy. Yes, I'll be doing the other 12 signs in part 2. Probably in about 15 minutes or so, 15 to 20 minutes. That is the energy that we have here. I also, by the way, read King of Cups is Pisces energy, Eight of Cups is Pisces energy. We could be dealing with someone with very strong Pisces placements. Maybe you could look to see where Pisces sits in your own chart. Maybe you know someone with significant Pisces energy who's a part of your life or someone who will appear. I'd also like you to think about with this Piscean energy, at least as I said, I feel for me, King of Cups is Pisces. With this energy, also think about your dreams. What are those dreams that are your overall North Star? That which makes your heart sing. That's what really gets you excited, and not just because you're able to maintain status quo life with incremental betterments, but in the energy that I have here, it's speaking of that which fulfills you. Could be an actual person, but greater than an actual person being conified or being connotated here, the connotations, greater than that, we have the energy of dreams and not settling for anything less than what we know we desire, what we know we want. And just because we don't have it now doesn't mean we can't get it at some point, as long as we still strive for it. That's the energy that I have here. Also, too, Queen of Swords, excuse me, Queen of Cups, King of Cups, soulmate energy. A soulmate connection here under Eight of Cups, a vibration of 8. The vibration of destiny is an 8. There's currently been a separation between you and your other half, but that's precisely because you've been in all the wrong places up to this point for that connection. What you've been doing thus far, how you've been thinking thus far, how you've been acting thus far, what you've been valuing thus far has prevented that meeting between that person who mirrors your soul. And so fate is telling you to go, move, explore. Queen of Cups. Actually, let's go and take a look at Ten of Swords first. Ten of Swords, I wanted to see exactly what is this energy. I want to see, first of all, is it positive or is it negative? And what exactly is it? Ten of Swords. It's a Queen of Wands. Two of Wands. I actually read, as I said before, my Queens is Cardinals. My Queen of Wands is Aries. Two of Wands is also Aries. Six of Pentacles. The idea of love that you have been pursuing, the idea of love that perhaps you may have dialed down or changed. I say dial down or change, but it feels like more what I have here is change. You've changed your idea of love based on what you've seen, based on what you've learned. The idea of partnerships and where you're at for partnerships, how you treat partnerships, what you are looking for in a partner has changed drastically, definitely from what you've held in the years prior. I wouldn't even say, too, this is a sobering or a maturation of expectations or of self, because we have still the Queen of Wands and Two of Wands, very energetic, entrepreneurial energies. Also, too, with that initial energy we were pulling with this Eight of Cups, that Five of Swords, and the World energy, all that tells me that this calls for innovation, that which you valued before or that which you have been allowed yourself to value, that which you have sought has changed entirely. And I do think, too, with these 8 numbers, these 8 frequencies that are there, that Eight of Swords and that Eight of Cups that were coming out initially as well, I do think in this energy, you were supposed to go and shed certain notions about how you perceived love and what you would accept from it. Queen of Cups. We have Justice, Magician, and 6 of Cups. That energy could almost be almost a little bit, well, it's what's owed under Queen of Cups. What's deserved, but also too counting, considering past actions. Also, too, Cancer, in this energy, it's like the ones who get the greatest sway with you, the ones who click with you on, well, I'll just say the ones who click with you best, or the ones who you would be most affected by, are probably people who you've met before, previously. I don't mean previously in this life. I do mean red thread, red ties, karmic tie. Well, even karmic. I don't mean karmic in the teach you a lesson type of energy. I just mean past life people. I'll simplify it by saying it that, because I feel sometimes some of these terms get thrown into negative and positive. And really, all that this energy speaks of is, I do feel like when there are people who you have a zing with, you give them more leeway. Perhaps that's that energy with everyone, but it's also in this energy allowing the feeling of what could be to gain stride, gain space, even when perhaps they haven't actually done anything. But this energy is very much about what is owed, what has been worked for so hard, what has been anticipated. Because I read these cards, I'm going to fold them back. Very much energy, all that Queen of Cups energy is what you have been waiting for, what you have been working towards, what is deserved. King of Cups. King of Cups, we have a Knight of Swords, Six of Swords, slow energy, strength. King of Cups, did I say King of Swords? I meant King of Cups. King of Cups energy reflects here an individual who has needed time to sort out what's really important to this person who's acting in King of Cups energy in active energy. Queens are passive, kings are active, kings greet, kings strive, queens are receptive. These could be very well two sides of you, but as of course we're dealing with love and partnerships, could be your other half. This is a King of Cups that has literally jumped into things before seeing what they literally are. Also, too, I will say they could be two aspects of the self, but they are rather different. Different enough for me to feel like they are two separate people, but maybe they could be two different components of self. They could be, as this is a collective reading. Primarily, it feels like two separate people, but that possibility exists here. And I say two separate people because this is someone who jumps into things before maybe it makes sense or before they review it. Also, too, for this person may jump into things that they're interested in. For them to actually become committed to it, for them to actually commit, it takes time, it takes effort, it has to make logic. This person is quick to move towards that which looks interesting, but for them to have staying power, for them to find causes that really are important to them, for things to become truly important for them, for people to become truly important to them. It takes time, and it takes time too because this person is still building out that which they'll fight for, that which they want to protect. A little bit of an irritating energy with this King of Cups. When you have confusion about what you want and how you want, and then you initiate with others, I guess I should read signs before I fold them back. That causes for a whole mass of frustrations. Is there another card that I folded back? Did I fold back Judgment? Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, this is enough. Signs that I have here. Let's go and take a quick peek. I have, let's see, any signs the strongest? I do have Aries, Gemini, I do have strong Gemini, strong air. I have some Libra, some Aquarius, some Scorpio. Obviously, as I said before, I have Pisces and I have Taurus. Those are the signs here. Oh, and Leo. Those are the signs that are here in this energy. Could be some signs dealing with the big three. Sun, Moon, Rising. Could also be Venus, 7th house. I would say definitely the water houses. I feel those signs would be located in or have prevalent energy as well, prevalent themes. maybe also to the first house. Let's go into now the 12 zodiac sign breakdown. First sign we'll start with will be Earth. So for the second part, this is going to be the affinity of how other signs' energies are towards the Cancerian collective, or you can think about too where you have Cancerian placements. I encourage you, if you're interested, you can definitely check out the other readings that are done for the other signs. You can cross-watch, they're interesting. For yourself, I encourage you to think about not just your sun sign, but think about, as these are love readings, think about your Venus sign, your 7th house sign. You can think about your Jupiter. If you connect strongly, or if you feel that energy, if you feel called to that Jupiter energy, you can also consider your moon sign, the feelings, and you can consider your rising sign. All those components, think about how you present, how they present. You could also consider that with somebody on your mind. For this part, could be somebody who you know, could be someone who you have yet to meet. With that person who you know, could be someone who you are actively dealing with, could be someone who you haven't spoken to in a while. All those fluctuations exist. As we're starting with Earth, as we're starting with Capricorn. So Capricorn for Cancer. That Capricorn, I guess I'll also say before I start, doesn't necessarily, as we're dealing with the pink energy, have to be that with passion, could also be friendship. Right? Again, it's the energy of love, pure love, without wanting any gain. Could also be friendship in addition to romantic love. So, Capricorn, thank you for the like. Capricorn for Cancer. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, King of Pentacles. Interest is definitely there. Interest is there from one side, but is it there from the other? Possibilities are there. Question is there alignment? Definitely very vivacious energy. Definitely a lot of possibilities, great possibilities of what could be receptive energies, of what could be, if we have this Queen of Wands interest. So Queen of Wands for Capricorn. Capricorn for Cancer. Empress. 2 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles is Capricorn energy. And Death. I'm going to say, if you're dealing with a Capricorn, that energy is 50-50. 50-50 as we are doing collective readings. I think it really comes down to you and that person. On one hand, there is marvelous affinity. There definitely is really strong interest from one side. And if that interest is met in terms of attraction, all comes down to attraction, then something quite significant could be started and developed, but also too 50-50 in this energy with Queen of Wands. If the attention isn't there, if the attraction, whole bunch of attraction, if the attraction isn't there, it's almost like too if the beauty isn't there. This is very much into the physical senses, very much into physical beauty and vivaciousness of spirit. Those two things together, that's what's pulling in another, and that's what will attract the other. And if it's not there, nothing will happen. And if it is there, you have a big life change coming up with something that will move very immediate and very quickly with some big changes, if it's a go. If you're dealing with a Virgo for Cancer, that Virgo's energy towards you. Wheel of Fortune. Earth signs are kind of sweet on you. Well, I'll put it this way. Earth signs are very interested in you, intrigued in you. Virgo's energy is a bit scattered, though. Virgo is definitely wanting commitment. Virgo is wanting success. Virgo is building out their success. Virgo is building out their success and creating their own pathway. Virgo is not following a path carved out by others. And as Virgo is basically formulating a whole new language, a whole new code to live by, well, Virgo is sort of paying attention to the full 360 of life, just not one facet. Could be a little distracted energy here, although overall the energy is very hopeful, very expansive. It's like Virgo is learning how to run, how to walk. Virgo may stumble, Virgo may fall, but Virgo will still get up and run faster and go farther. General energy of Virgo. Wheel of Fortune gets 10 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and Temperance. Virgo has undergone some major life changes, Cancer. Virgo is making some pretty big changes. Virgo recently ended out a situation. Virgo is starting a new phase. I feel like Virgo has matured. Cancer, if you're dealing with a Virgo, the qualities that you could have been hoping to go and see realized or practiced in Virgo, I think are going to arise. For you, if you've been dealing with a Virgo, you should be pleased on some level. Is it pleased enough to have you further develop a connection? Could be. Could be. If you're dealing with a Virgo, that Virgo is going to or has been making the necessary changes that you would like to see. And Cancer, if you meet a Virgo, that Virgo has ended their previous phase of life, Virgo is now looking for starting a new phase of life. They are looking for commitment. Let's not forget we had that King of Pentacles energy here. They're looking for that next phase and a partner to share it in. Also, too, Virgo is not really looking for much drama. Although I feel like Virgo's energy around them innately has a lot of drama, has a lot of action, has a lot of changes in flux. But ultimately, Virgo will be attracted to you because they won't perceive that sort of drama that they themselves have dealt with and perhaps they themselves have cultivated. Cancer, if you meet a Taurus, if you're dealing with a Taurus, Three of Wands with Eight of Swords, Empress, King of Wands, Eight of Cups, all these eights again. Of course, our main reading had lots of eight energy. Eight, of course, is the number of transformation, of destiny, of fate. Someone has goals to become more than what they are right now, to have more than what they have right now, and they don't have it. They are dissatisfied. Also, too, Empress is Taurus energy. I actually read Cancer, Empress as energies for me. I feel it between Taurus and Cancer. It's actually one of my cards that fluctuates between. Sometimes it feels like a mix of Taurus and Cancer. So I read it as both those signs. But it's also Taurus energy. So Three of Wands. Three of Wands gets an Ace of Swords, Temperance, and Justice. If you've been dealing with a Taurus, Cancer, I almost want to ask, have you been too lenient in your expectations of what that Taurus should do, how that Taurus should present? Have you been neglected or undermined or not appreciated as you should be, or perhaps the appreciation that you gave that Taurus? I almost feel, Cancer, if you've been dealing with a Taurus, you've given that Taurus a lot of space. And I think, Cancer, in that energy, in those opportunities you've given that Taurus, that's enough. If you've been dealing with a Taurus, now's the time to turn your attention elsewhere. There is something else that you need to see, somewhere else you need to look. And if you've been dealing with a Taurus, not with that Taurus. Also, too, in this energy, Cancer, well, it's the energy of self-improvement. I feel like if you're dealing with a Taurus, Taurus is, or even if you meet a Taurus, Taurus is dealing with improving themselves, discovering themselves, being true to themselves, finding out what that is. Also, to Justice and Ace of Swords are Libra energy. We are in Libra season. There could be a fading away, a drifting away in the energies between you and a Taurus should you meet, or at least drifting away for a chance to have a stronger sense of self, a stronger personal color. That's very important here in the energy of Taurus for you and Taurus. Ultimately, if you're dealing with a Taurus, I feel like the energy is not right now. I feel like you need to something. I'm not going to say the word protect, and I'm not going to say the word grow or shield, but there's something in that energy, something along those actions in which you need to do when it comes to a Taurus. You need to protect yourself within a shell, but maybe not as drastic as what those words could mean, but it's in that type of vein. And I feel like Taurus ultimately is more concerned with themselves and goals of achievement that have nothing to do with you. And whatever they gain with you is not really going to fulfill certain ideas they have about achievement. And that could hurt. That could hurt you. In other words, Taurus right now, energy changes, but Taurus right now, I wouldn't exactly touch. Taurus is a little volatile. I did all the earth signs, I believe. I did Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Shall we do fire? Let's do Leo. Cancer. If you meet a Leo, if you're dealing with a Leo, Six of Wands is Leo energy. Page of Wands, bottom of the deck, Ace of Cups, Cancerian energy, Knight of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. Where has that Leo been for you, Cancer? If you're dealing with a Leo, Leo is very receptive to being with you, enjoying time with you, learning about you, imagining about you. Leo's energy is very nice. So Six of Wands, Nine of Wands, Knight of Wands, Ace of Swords. If you're dealing with a Leo, regardless if you're dealing with a Leo or you meet a Leo, I feel like that Leo has been in your energy for a little bit of time, Cancer. I have 3 knights here, Cancer. Strong movement, everything but a Knight of Swords to go and rush in. This person, this Leo, has energy. I feel like they've been aware of you. If they haven't been aware of you, Cancer, then they've been anticipating meeting you, meeting someone like you, in the energy that you vibrate in. Magnetic. And this energy really does feel like knowing, actual knowing, but it could also be knowing on a higher level. Your Leo is very eager to go and initiate. Leo is very eager It's almost like in this energy, Leo becomes fulfilled being around you. You rise, Leo, up to another level of self. You're a catalyst for Leo's growth. I feel Leo is very taken with you, and the energy here is very good. But you are also a catalyst for Leo's growth in a positive way for Leo. Hopefully that extends to you. The energy I have here isn't bad. I just feel like Leo is going to be fully committed to exploring and developing and maintaining a relationship with you. You have really good energy. And the reason why you have really good energy is Leo is, I'm not going to say the word feeding, but Leo definitely, you are the sunshine. Rather than the Leo shining their light on others, Cancer, you are nourishing Leo in a very particular way for them to grow in a healthy manner. I'll put it that way. Something about that energy there. Cancer, if you're dealing with a Sagittarius, Cancer, if you meet a Sagittarius, that Sagittarius towards you death. Oh, Five of Cups. Well, first of all, Cancer, really intense Scorpio energy. Five of Cups is Scorpio. Death is Scorpio. Scorpio season is right around the bend. Also, too, really huge dissatisfaction with how things have been playing out thus far. In this energy, it's like, it wasn't meant to be this way. It shouldn't be this way. How did things get to be at this point? And what can I do to change it? Change is necessary. This is literally a prayer and something stronger than that for really big changes. As I'd say, if you're dealing with a Scorpio, we're dealing with Sagittarius, right? Yes. That's in the energy of Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius has had to go and face some things. I don't know what they are, but definitely Sagittarius did not either take initiative when they should have, or the type of initiative they have taken so far has sort of blown up in their face. One or the other. Either inaction or the type of action that was taken was rather disastrous. You would think in this energy, again, we have that sort of King of Cups energy from our beginning of our first reading, our main reading that we did, Cancer. That King of Cups energy was all about someone who jumped into things before really comprehending what it was they were starting. They realized that after the fact, it was like, oh, so that's what it was. And in this energy, Sagittarius kind of typifies that this energy is mirrored here. Sagittarius definitely has a habit, or had a habit, is inclined to, or has seen some variation of that, of jumping into things, or it could be the other extreme, either jumping into things or withholding themselves from that which they really want, that which has initially really, really attracted them. And anyway, Sagittarius is definitely full of full of woe over how they have been acting up to this point towards the things that matter. And also, too, understanding that connections in themselves matter. How you compose yourself, how you behave matters. Sagittarius is all full of these realizations. In this energy, it's also like all Sagittarius was doing was going after the good. Sagittarius recognizes the good. But they didn't go after it. They didn't treat it the right way, regardless if they held back or if they jumbled it up. Anyway, so we have death here. Death. I have 6 of Wands, Empress, and the Fool. Sagittarius is going to act in a manner in which Sagittarius has never acted before, Cancer, towards you. Could be in this energy too, death with 4 of Wands. Sagittarius could feel something with you that they haven't felt before. 4 of Wands is soulmate energy. They definitely see you as someone they can partner with, someone who they can be with, someone who they'd like to spend time with, someone who they'd like to grow with. As I mentioned earlier, I see my empresses between Taurus and Cancer, definitely a card with a lot of Cancerian qualities. Also, too, besides Scorpio, we have Leo, we have Aquarius energy in here. Those could be at play also in either of your charts, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius. Oh, this is Aries. But if you're with Sagittarius, expect Sagittarius to approach you. Sagittarius is going to approach you in an entirely new way than they've done before. Sagittarius, too, in this energy, wants to create. They want to create good things, strong things. And they're very future facing. Also, too, if Sagittarius appears a little frivolous, well, I do think that we also have some strong possessive energy here, too, as an undercurrent. Not all is as lighthearted as what it seems. Cancer, if you're dealing with a fellow cardinal sign, if you're dealing with an Aries, thank you for the like. If you're dealing with an Aries, that Aries towards you, Cancer. Aries likes you a lot. 3 of Cups is Cancerian energy. 4 of Cups is Cancerian energy. Emperor is Aries energy. King of Cups. Queen of Swords. Someone meets the other's standards. If you are dealing with an Aries, if you meet an Aries, It could be maybe you or maybe them. Someone didn't think that they would be affected by the other as much as they are. Someone didn't think that the two of you could enjoy time together as much as you do or as much as you will. But someone is going to find the other Cancer very, very vivacious, very, very iridescent. Someone sparkles to the other. You, I think, Cancer, leave a very nice aftertaste, energetic aftertaste to that Aries. Aries feels like, I want to say Aries acknowledges you. Aries is very consciously saying you are a good thing, Cancer. If you're dealing with an Aries, expect some really big movements from Aries. I also want to say, if you're dealing with an Aries, even if maybe this isn't necessarily Aries, because these are collective readings, even if maybe that Aries isn't inclined to show appreciation in action, show their appreciation in gifts, I feel like this Aries is going to go out of their way, or at least Aries right now, in the energy I'm pulling right now, Aries will go out of their way to show how much they like you by what they give to you, either their efforts or it could be like, something tangible too, something physical. But I feel like they're going to either help you or spoil you. I don't like the word so much spoil, but gift giving and that whole thing. I just don't. But I feel like Aries is going to either give you their time, their energy, their effort, or they'll actually give you tokens to display their admiration, but it's more like acknowledge. They acknowledge that you are great. They like you a lot. With Aries energy, Aries is quite taken with you. And depending on what you need and how open you are, Aries would be happy to get to know you more. Aries would be happy to be closer to you, to get to know you better. That's also too in this energy with Aries. Aries would probably also do, whether, as I said, I don't know if it's gift giving or Aries actually helping you out. Something Aries will do that's quite nice, will be inclined to do that's quite nice. But I feel like too, Aries is doing that precisely to go and try and bridge the distance between you and them, to know more about you and to see if what they theorize about you is actually true. It's odd in that energy with Aries, despite the fact of having a Nine of Cups with a King of Swords, you make Aries feel good. Aries, it's not necessarily like a mutual swelling of emotion. Aries chooses you because you look good or you feel good, whatever, right? You get the idea. The energy of being around you. Aries chooses you, but the emotionality between you and that Aries is how good Aries feels around you, not necessarily how Aries feels about you. And that's the thing to consider, because Aries energy is deliberate. There's no emotional attachment to you, just how you make them feel. Anyway, curious energy around that. I think I'm done with all the fire signs. So I already did earth. I think we have water and we have air. Cancer, let's do air. We'll do Gemini. Cancer. If you are dealing with a Gemini, if you meet a Gemini, that Gemini towards you, boy, Gemini has seen better days. Maybe they're not actually better days, Cancer, but in Gemini's mind, how Gemini is seeing the world right now, Gemini is definitely looking towards the past as brighter days than what they're experiencing now and what they anticipate for the future. Gemini definitely has a lot of ties, Cancer, to the past. If this is a new Gemini, Cancer, who you'll meet, know that in this energy, if anything from the past comes back to them, or if they have a chance to re-engage with that which they feel so warmly and fondly about in the past. One moment. Chi-chi. Okay, Chi-chi. Okay. Hi, Chi-chi. Okay. So I did not want my cat to run around. Oh wait, did I just fold all that back? I did. Oh, I did, didn't I? Oh, it was only the Five of Cups. So yeah, about Gemini. Gemini has a lot of nostalgia, Cancer. And if anything that they really feel strongly about the past should come back, Gemini is definitely going to go and honor and respect and give that time. Even if whatever happened in the past happens to, or that whatever arises from the past comes back to Gemini and still ends up disappointing them. And even if it feels like, if Gemini feels like there's that possibility, Gemini is still going to go and give it space. Now, if this is space with you, if you have been dealing with a Gemini, I'm going to say right now, Cancer, if you're dealing with a Gemini and if this feels like this particular message aligns for you, with you, to know that because this Gemini is so firmly rooted still in the past, I don't really know how they could build something healthy for the future, because this Gemini hasn't grown, isn't committed to growth. Just because you choose to remain lodged in a certain point doesn't mean the world stops. Instead, that which stops becomes brittle. So Gemini is actually not in very good energy right now, if you're dealing with a Gemini. Oh, if you're dealing with a Gemini, if you meet a Gemini overall, yeah, I would not touch Gemini. Especially for any sort of connection or relationship. Gemini has intense regrets. Gemini feels like they saw the rainbow. They saw their golden palace, and before they could realize it, before they can make it concrete, it escaped them. They can't get over that. They can't get over the fact that they either had success or were really close to success, and now they don't. So, ouch. Then, of course, we have these 5 energies here, right? They're unavoidable, unescapable facts that one has to pay attention to. Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, 5 of Wands. Gemini can't find emotional satisfaction. Something about being able to move and build towards what they love has been escaping Gemini, with unforeseen results. Everything is so much of a hassle. Everything is so hard. Everything is not yet realized. Gemini is in a funk. Send a little prayer out to Gemini. I would not touch Gemini in this energy. As energies is passing, and as this is one message for the collective, right? I'm not saying avoid Geminis for all eternity. No, I'm just saying that right now, Gemini's energy is really raw and really rooted in the past. And Gemini is cycling in that, not healing. Gemini, I'd let Gemini go. If you're dealing with a Gemini, let Gemini go and, I don't know, do whatever Gemini needs to do. I'm not going to focus on that anymore. So, Cancer, if you're dealing with an Aquarius. An Aquarius for Cancer could be someone who you know, Aquarius. You may be speaking to that person. Oh, excuse me, Aquarius. It could be someone, Cancer, an Aquarius who you're speaking to. Cancer, this Aquarius could be someone who you haven't spoken to, but maybe you feel. Cancer, this could also be an Aquarius who you have yet to meet. Let's go and see how the Aquarian collective overall, how their energy is towards you, Cancer. So the Chariot is Cancerian energy. I'm sure if you're watching this channel, you know that. If you're dealing with an Aquarius, Cancer, Aquarius has been thinking about you. Aquarius has given themselves a space, perhaps given themselves a space by putting some distance between you and them, but Aquarius has been thinking about you and have come to certain conclusions. First of all, let me say, Cancer, the first conclusion that Aquarius has come to is that you really are strong. I do kind of wonder with this pensive King of Swords, Four of Swords energy here, does Aquarius likewise see themselves as strong, or do they perhaps see you as a stronger force? Do you have a stronger center, Cancer? Something that they didn't anticipate, something that they thought, Cancer, you would be easy. I don't know quite the right words, either not easy to manipulate, but something about the steadfastness in which you operate, although not immediate, but over time has revealed, has emphasized your strength to them. Either way, what I'm getting here, Cancer, if you're dealing with an Aquarius, first and foremost, Aquarius is impressed by strength of character, of will, of determination, and they recognize that in you. It does feel like in this energy a bit of time has gone by. If this is a new Aquarius, then this Aquarius has been through some situations where Aquarius has judged people prematurely, and now, after Aquarius has taken a step back, Aquarius has realized that which they've judged, that which they've evaluated, they've done so incorrectly. If you're dealing with an Aquarius, if you're dealing with an Aquarius, if you meet an Aquarius, that Aquarius has matured. That Aquarius, I can also say, has become a better person. Chariot gets a Four of Cups, some more Cancerian energy, Two of Swords, King of Pentacles. A whole lot of Cancerian energy here, Cancer, for an Aquarius reading. Again, Chariot is Cancer, Four of Cups is Cancer, Ace of Cups is Cancer. If you're dealing with an Aquarius, first of all, this energy, as I said, if Aquarius hasn't actually been dealing with you, then Aquarius has been, previously, Aquarius has judged people incorrectly. Aquarius has had to redefine or expand, put a new layer of understanding on what strength is. Very independent energy. You know, there's being impressed here, but there's also an incompatibility here. You know, where do one's motives and goals align? Also, too, a little bit of energy here of social climbing with that Aquarius. If you're dealing with an Aquarius, Aquarius recognizes your strength, regardless if you meet an Aquarius or if you're dealing with one. Aquarius recognizes your strengths. Aquarius probably too is also calculating how does your attributes, your gifts, your strength play into what they hope to achieve and where they want to go. Very social climbing type of energy. Aquarius is in the energy of partnership, but the partnership has to match. their goals. I feel like this isn't necessarily even 50-50 energy. This is more, well, it's very, very whimsical energy. Could go either way. It's like 40%, 30% turning out into something positive or concrete. A whole lot of flux here, a whole lot of factors here if you're dealing with Aquarius. If you're dealing with Aquarius, just know Aquarius recognizes your strengths. Aquarius has other goals and what they'd like to achieve. Aquarius would wonder probably too, how pliable would you be, or how would your assets and gifts play into theirs? How would their assets and gifts play into you? Very transactional energy here. Also, too, Aquarius in this energy could want to be pulled by your strength or see how far your strength would take them. Something around that is in the energy with Aquarius. I personally don't recommend that. These are love readings, not necessarily job readings, business readings. So, Libra. And I think I'm going to end it here. We have the water signs, I know, but I'm a little tired. Do one more for Libra after I yawn. Cancer, if you're dealing with a Libra, if you meet a Libra, that Libra towards you. Libra is curious. Libra is also very practical. Gee, what practical energy. Maybe you wouldn't expect Libra to be as practical as they are, but they are evaluating you in terms of the suitability for a long-term connection. They are looking for a long-term connection. Libra is excited about establishing a long-term connection, but Libra is doing it very judiciously, which I guess is kind of funny considering justice is one of the energies with Libra. Ooh, such positive energy here. If there's alignment between you and Libra, that could be a beautiful thing. That's what Libra says. Libra says there's a possibility there. Libra is definitely ready to make big changes, firm commitments. And yet, not going to be smooth sailing, not going to be something relatively fast. There's like things that have to be worked out. With Queen of Wands, King of Wands, we do have soulmate energy here, Cancer, if you're dealing with a Libra. But it's like soulmate energy with a whole bunch of other components to factor in with Hermit and Devil. Also, let me say with King and Queen of Wands, although we have soulmate energy here, Cancer, both of you could have very strong personalities and operate in entirely different ways and value things differently than one another. Have a different set of values, different way of showing those values, different set of expectations for how one behaves and also to how one is attached. Almost a bit intimidating energy here. Cancer, if you're dealing with a Libra. But overall, I feel like this energy is tiresome. One half is energetic, but there's a lot of establishing ground here if you're dealing with a Libra. The possibility of what turns out could be lovely, but it's a lot of work to get there. Not saying it's not worth it. It's just that I don't know. This is tiresome energy. It saps a lot of energy. It will encourage a lot of energy, but you have to find your path, your way. You have to find and establish a common ground, a common language, you and that Libra. And that could be exhausting. That could also be exhilarating. As these are collective readings, there is that flux between it. But definitely two strong-willed individuals with a different manner of language. And you together have to create a language which you both understand. So yeah, I'm tired. I won't do the water signs, but thank you everybody so much for the likes. Until next time. Interesting. Yes, Cancer and Capricorn definitely have a lot of similarities in terms of energy. I feel like certain signs overall have characteristics that share others. The most startling thing to me always about Cancerian energy, Capricorn energy, is really how expansive Capricorn energy is. Capricorn energy really is the energy of all. It's like all the possibilities that could be in the air, out in the air. Capricorn energy pulls on that, and probably the challenge with Capricorn energy is with all that possibility, all that power that's there, how to properly tap into it and create tangible things from it. Create good, tangible things from it. Because all this opportunity is constantly at your fingertips. And probably the challenge is how to properly make contact with it and form it into something, form it into things, sculpt it. Anyway, I will be doing these readings for the other signs as I have the time and energy to do so. As you see, they take a little bit of time. So you could just, that time, what is it, an hour and a half, 2 hours times 12, we end up with almost 20 hours, if not more, of readings. If anyone is curious about the other signs, do check out the other love readings. They're not specifically time sensitive. Sometimes the messages are on the short term, sometimes they're on the longer term. But I encourage you to go and check out the other signs if you want to cross-watch and see perhaps even too how Cancerian energy is ebbing towards another sign. Until next time, bye-bye.